I want to try something really quick. Hello? I usually have to connect my AirPods to this, but I haven't done that yet. Oh god! I'm gonna connect them. Connect. Okay, we're good. I just wanted to see if that worked. I don't know why. This isn't about that. This is a video about music, because I just got off the phone with my friend and we were talking about the new Sublime album that dropped today. I haven't done a full listen through yet. I should, but I will. Hi Isaac, if you're watching this, and Joa, because you watch it with Joa. You said not much. I don't think you guys watch the full video. I don't think a lot of people watch these full videos, but it's important because today I wanted to do a video covering music, so I'm gonna be on my phone because I'm gonna pull up. I want to do 2 main albums. Well, I guess it'd be 7 main albums, but a lot of them are kind of part of one big project. I might do, because music, you could tell, big part of my life. These are all vinyl. I have vinyl everywhere. There's vinyl over there on that side of the base. I'm in my basement, and there's more vinyl over there, like more than there is here. And then there's some upstairs. I have some of my own vinyl. Big music guy. Let's pull up my Apple Music stats. I'll do last year. Mind you, I didn't get a phone until mid-November of last year, and I was still able to get how many minutes of music? Holy hell! This is last year. All right. How much music? Do we have to watch the highlight reel? Ooh. Hello. 20,000 minutes in a year where I didn't have my phone for most of it. This year I got 2,000 January, 3,000 in February. Someone's running around in my house and it's 11 p.m. 3,000 in March, 4,000 in April, and back to 3,000 in May. What the fuck was I on in April? Kanye. I was on Kanye. Alright. It's Kanye in March. Alright. Oh, okay. So, big music guy. And I want to talk about 2 albums that I really enjoy. Not because of just the music. I mean, I do love the music for one of them a lot more than the other, because the first one kind of tells more of a story. I'm not going to say it's underrated, because it's, widely critically acclaimed. But the second one I like more just because it has more of a music aspect, and they were my top artist from January of this year, so I do actually listen to them. I did. I don't listen to them as much anymore. It's kind of like a phase thing. But, I'm going to cover the second one second. But I want to cover the first one because I mentioned them in my last video talking about movies. I was talking about in the back rooms. For all of the movies, I brought up the soundtrack, because soundtracks usually affect my opinion on movies. If a movie has a bad soundtrack, I think I'm gonna dislike it a lot more than a movie with a good soundtrack. That's why I love films by James Gunn, because he has amazing soundtracks. And for the back rooms, I thought they had a pretty good soundtrack. Especially with music from the album coming today, Everywhere at the End of Time, Stage 1 by The Caretaker. I think they featured A1 as Just a Burning Memory and A4 Childishy Fresh Eyes. And I was talking about it because I talked about it in that video too, but I'm talking about it here. Everywhere at the End of Time is a 6-part series, and each album, they were each released 6 months apart, from the spans of 2016 to 2019. And each stage is meant to represent a different stage of dementia. I think that's really interesting, and I'm gonna play it like into my AirPod, I guess, to show you all the music. But because you've heard these, I know you've heard these. Okay. 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 Yeah, that was fine. You've heard that, right? You might have heard this. Uh, Both of those were featured in the Backrooms movie. I talked about why that fit the Backrooms movie so well because it's stages of the real world, forgetting and then copying things again until you don't even know what memories are real. And I thought that was just perfect use of it because it is just kind of like dementia as a place. And you've heard those songs. Another song I like on this album. Just give it a minute. Yeah. I thought my mom was coming down. um, but I think, especially the first one, it was a sampled track from Heartaches by, I'll figure out who. Al Bowley, I think that's how I pronounce it, who was a popular artist from like the 30s, and he was the tracks they first of all in that I can't it's not on Apple Music. I couldn't find it on Apple Music, but he goes like, "It's just a burning memory." I can't sing for shit. But he does that, and I think that's also the name of the title there. The song there is just a burning memory, and I think that's good. Right here, you can see the symbolism is looks what to be like a rolled up newspaper, because this first album is stuff like you still remember. It's just like a bit of fuzz, and that's kind of what the first stage of dementia is. Don't take any of the. I don't know a lot of brain stuff. I'm looking geek, and I'm just gonna be rambling, but you know. And that's why they're using songs from the 30s, and they're using stuff that older people know and recognize because dementia affects you as you get older. It's not really a young person issue, which is why they're using this old imagery here. And I really enjoy that. They sample a lot of old songs for this whole thing. And as it goes on, I think they're going to sample Heartaches again for stage 2 of Everywhere at the End of Time. Is this it? Yeah, stage 2. A losing battle is raging. I don't think they sample it in there. I don't know where they have it again. They have it again. Um, and in this one, should I just do stage by stage? I think that's what I'm gonna do. It's like a vase vase, and the pot is like wilting away along with the flowers. Also, like I love the art on these albums. I think it's really beautiful. Uh, there it is sampled again, but it sounds different because with dementia you're trying to remember again, and you're trying to remember more and more, and it's like it's slipping away, and you're gonna slip at some point into a state of confusion where you're just incredibly confused and you forget like everything. At stage 1 everything's pretty normal, but you begin to forget more and more. I think around stage 4 is the drop off and the point of no return, where you forget almost everything, and there's like short moments where you remember. Stage 3. Let's go to stage 3. Here it is. Um, and it's like up to this point, they've all had like good titles. They've all had titles that make sense. Oh, good. Okay, that's okay. You've heard that. That was kind of a slowed version of. I'll pull up this. This is another song he did. You've heard this, I assume. And then this, you can hear it. It's a slowed down, more distorted version of that because at this point you're just losing so much more memory. But you can still see that the title albums make sense up to this point. But if we move on to stage four, is this stage four? No. Which one is stage four? No, nothing's loading. Hold up. Stage four. This is, I really love the change here because now it's gone from normal names. It's the same name, stage 4 post awareness confusions, and right here, temporary bliss state. And I think, that's, I love that. I think that's a really interesting thing because at this point it's all just kind of become like confusion, and you don't really know what's happening, and your own mind's kind of just, I'd say, like turning against you. But you'll have these brief moments where like past memories come in, and like you get bliss moments, where you're remembering things, and you know, um, and that's nice. Like I love the caretaker. He's very creative, and I think he handles these very well. So this is stage 5 here. Yeah. These are our medical terms here. Advanced plaque entanglements. Plaque buildup in the brain is what causes dementia, and 3 of these are called. No, one of them. Yeah, 2 of them are advanced plaque entanglements. One is synapse retrogenesis. I'll search that up right now. Synapse retrogenesis. The neurobiological theory that cognitive deterioration and synaptic loss in neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's occur in the exact reverse order of how the brain developed during childhood. So it's how you it's like how you grew during childhood and how your childhood like how your motor skills, I think motor skills, I don't quite know, don't quote me, I'm not a doctor, and stuff like that is just moving backwards now. And I think that's interesting. And then, what the fuck? Sudden time regression into isolation. And yeah, and by this point, you've kind of forgotten a lot of your memories. And you're beginning to not recognize the people in your life. And you're feeling incredibly alone within your own mind. And your own mind is, like, still deteriorating. So it's like you have nothing left. And I think that's really sad. I've never known anyone with dementia personally. But I've seen stuff. And it's just like, it's heartbreaking because they don't know, and it's like you can't do anything to really tell them, especially at that point where it's so far gone. Here's the that's the music at this point. That's what it's. Remember the beginning. That's what it's come to. I swear to God, I just saw a creepy fucking man standing right there. I hate listening to this music in my dark basement. And then the final one here. Ooh, my God. I love this album art here. Like I've said, I love the album art for these. But it's a painting, and it's not clear whether the painting is facing towards us or away. If it's facing away from us, it's a piece of art that we can't see because like you've become so disconnected from the world. But if it's facing towards us, that's the masking tape, and it shows something that's yet to begin, because it's felt like nothing's begun in your life, because the synapse regression that was mentioned in the last album, and everything's fading away, kind of, and you're becoming more and more alone, and you can see that with the title names here. You have a confusion so thick you forget forgetting, a brutal bliss beyond this empty defeat, long decline is over, and then place in the world fades away. So it's it's heavy shit here. This is 21 minutes long. Skip to a random part. And it's just like stuff, because you are. I have to be careful how I say this. You're barely human at this point. I think memories are what make you human. Memories and experiences are what create you and your sense of self. And with dementia, you lose those, and you become a shell of not only your former self, but just as a human. You become emotionless. You become like a blank person. Um, and I think it's scary. And I think the song ends. You're hearing music again. I don't know if this is in reference to like the 7 minutes before you die, or like the final blissful things before you die, and like your final happy memories that potentially shine through. But it's that. But then the final minute is just nothing. That's max volume. There's no sound. The person died from their dementia. And I think, it's just, I want to do a full, like, listen through one time. Because I've heard it, like, really changes how you think about dementia and mental diseases in the brain. Because, even just in that short thing of me showing you songs from each thing, like, you could tell the difference of what happened. Um, I just think it's tragic. So, that's what I have for that. And then I have a second album. We're gonna get like a bit happier here. So, this album I'm a big fan of. I've been listening to it for a while. Hawaii Part 2. I think it has, I like the music in, um, the Echo at the End of Time, but it's more of just like a statement. It's more of like just representing something. I'm not gonna say obviously there's music towards the start, but towards the end, it's just sound to represent what it's like for dementia. There's music on here I like, and you've definitely heard this. I mean, like you've had to have heard that, right? Um, a lot of this, I think the last one was pretty culturally relevant because you've heard especially the songs in the first stage, but also just widely critically acclaimed. And this released 12 hours, 12 minutes, and 12 seconds on December 12th, 2012. Um, so, I think that's interesting. And the band Miracle Musical with Tally Hall, which is a popular band. Um, but they released this, and this is the only thing that Miracle Musicals ever put out. And they're still talked about. What, it's been 14 years later, because of how this album is portrayed. Um, I'm gonna say my take on it. But there's so many different takes you can have on this album. Is that I think it's another album about mental disorders, because I believe it's like a story. It tells you the story of this guy, and I think it's showing his like schizophrenia. There's a really good YouTube video essay on it that I loved. I love YouTube video essays. And that's kind of how I learned a lot. It was like 2 a.m. I was just like, it was really good. Let me pull it up right now so I can give credit to that guy, because it was, hold up. Maybe get to my watch later. Horse race tests. Oh my god. Okay, is it not in here? I'll just search it up. It's like the first thing to come up. Hawaii Part 2. The Great Mystery of Hawaii Part 2 of Fort Collin Productions. He did a really good video on it. I recommend go watching that, because I'm not going to have as good of takes as he does. But the basic premise of the album is it's a man and this woman, and they fall in love. And, like, one day they're out in the woods, and he kills her. Like, he goes insane, and she gets killed. and the man is charged for murder on trial and pleads insanity and sent to an infirmary where he, like, the voices in his head are making him go insane before he eventually dies and reunites with his love that he murdered in the afterlife. Which, I think there's more to it than that. Each song can be broken down much more, but that's like a basic premise. God, this song's creepy. There's, Erkling. Earl King. Earl King. Yeah. Is a malevolent figure in Germanic folklore who... it's important because this is like the turning point of the album is the song Murders, which, it implies a murder happened. But it mentions the Earl King, and, they were out in Germanic folklore and romantic literature. He, like, haunts forests, often appearing as an omen of death or a spirit that lures children to their doom. And in this, he gets her killed. There was a really creepy video in 6th grade that my music teacher made me watch of it chasing these people through the forest. And they were like, oh god, I don't know why I remember that. It was really fucking creepy. Yeah, the Earl King. And that's kind of like what... I'm not going to say that gives it away. Oh, my dad texted me. Don't stay up too late. Okay. I'm going to play some songs in a minute. But you've probably heard a couple of these songs. I just think it's a really good song because it provides some good things on schizophrenia. Hold up. In this song especially, you're going to hear, like, multiple voices just, like, talking at the sky and, like, this is when he was in the psych ward. This is when he gets sent to the psych ward. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm low-key about. I'm going to check back here, I swear to God. I'm fucking... I hate this song. It's kind of paranoid right now, I don't know why. I'll play more, sorry. I love that song. It's really kind of weird, but I think it's interesting, and it's good. There's a... Hold up. Go watch the YouTube video essay because I cannot explain it as well. But I want to talk about it because I love this album. And it's not as heavy on, the mental disorder as the Caretakers albums. Because it's ambigu. This album has a lot more ambiguity. And it's kind of meant for your own interpretation. And this is just one of the many interpretations of this song. Others believe he wasn't even schizophrenic. And he was just, like... framed for the murder. Oh. Okay, I actually enjoyed this song. And I don't know. I don't even know if this is. They never confirmed. They haven't put out any albums since. Because I think it was a one-time project just from them. And I really enjoyed that, but, I'm turning this off. It's distracting me. It's a really good album, and it has actually, I listen to anything. I listen to, like, whatever, dude. My top album last month was from an animation Minecraft channel. I wish I was kidding. I don't know how they make your... I've listened to much more albums, and I don't know how they decided that was my top album. But, I actually really do enjoy the songs on Hawaii Part 2. I also enjoy just Tally Hall. which I think, you know, they have good songs. I really like Ruler of Everything. Do I cover other albums? I might save that for another day. I don't really know what I do. I thought I was gonna have more to talk about for Hawaii Part Two, considering like how much I like it. But like, there's so much that goes on in the songs. So I think, you know, if you want like a really detailed breakdown, go watch the guy I was talking about. I'm gonna play some more of the songs though. You've heard this. And the song's pretty dreamy, like cosmic dreamy, which I really like. Hey, hey, uh. I'm just gonna play snippets. Okay, I just wanted to do that one because I enjoy the song, but that was all in like one song. It was the grand finale of the album, and it was really, really good. I want to get geeked and listen to that really bad, like the full thing, but I feel like I'd fall asleep. Um, I think that's all I really have to talk about for this video. I'm probably gonna do an album another day of just or not a video talking about like albums and music another day. But those were just the two main ones I wanted to focus on because I like their stories, and I was a pretty big Miracle musical fan for a while. All right, that's all I got. Thank you.